Hello, this is my Sova guide to bind. I'm going to be going over defense and then retaking and then attack and then defending the post plant. So the first things first is going to be drone on. We're going to go A first and then B. I usually play A when I play Sova. I used to play B a lot before the rework of bind. So drone first. This is the only drone I really do on A on ranked. And the reason why I do this drone is because it takes space. So I usually do it about 5 seconds into the round and maybe a bit longer. The reason being is because I want to have a bit more info around the map when I make this drone here. Because if the drone sees nothing, then I get the orb, and I most likely get a position where I get like to this position where I get a lot of value for my team, a lot of info for my team, so I know they can't be in these areas. And if they TP as well, a lot of people don't expect anyone to be in this position. So a lot of the time, the first person won't check, and they'll start to run into showers, and then the next person will come along, and you can kill both. It's very, very good multi-frag position. You can also get into this position too, so if anyone decides to get the teleporter and path this way, you'll get a free kill on them too. Or you can simply do like a fast reflank that people won't expect as well. If they all decide to go showers, you can start walking up and get a fast reflank that they won't expect at all, which is really nice. Or a fast flank, I guess, not really a reflank. I guess it is kind of a reflank. Okay, next one is so the other drone I'll show, but I don't really do it in ranked at all. So this one you'll do if you're going to do a trap play on people hookah. So what I mean by trap play is you'll usually have like a viper wall here, and then you'll actually have 2 people here, 2 people in hookah. And when people try to take this position, then you'll start to crunch them in showers by sending through util and people to defend. Like you'll have like a raise nade coming through and things like that, maybe a raise ult and things like that. Generally you won't do that in ranked, so don't have to worry about it too much. Then we'll talk about if they actually get onto site. So actually we won't. We'll talk about just normal recons right now. So the first recon to know is this one, and essentially what it does is it just gives you the info of short at the start of the round. It's a very basic arrow. Wouldn't recommend doing it every round. It's barely ever useful, but at least it gives you a bit of info. That's the main thing. But in ranked, generally you want to be making sure that your abilities get you kills, and that's how you get value, because info like this doesn't get value in ranked, especially in lower, like when you go lower down the ranks. Getting info like that is completely meaningless when you could get kills with your abilities. So I would play for kills. So there's other ones you can do. So this one, so if you want to line up with this corner with this arrow on the bottom of the indicator, and then you just tap, and that will give you an arrow through the skylight, which you can use to wallbang. You can also, if a teammate is on top, or you can ask like a blast pack someone to satchel up or to boost you up. And you can spray through this. And the reason why this top angle is better is because you actually get the full angle on the people taking the orb when you don't actually on the bottom one. So you want to make sure, like, if you want to do that play to its fullest, you have like a teammate there, or you somehow get yourself there. Next thing we want to do is look at this start first. So this start, you go in this corner, and we want to be looking at this box. We want to line up the indicator like next to the box, perfectly as possible with the corner, and then 1 bounce and 3 bar, and it should bounce off there and then hit the leaf. And what this does is it scans short. Some of short, and it also scans anyone taking swings here. So this is like a dart that shows enemies when they're active. It doesn't show enemies when they're not active, and that's important to know, because enemies that are not active have all the time in the world to shoot darts. Obviously this person is most likely going to be the one to shoot the dart, which is the worst part of this dart, is that someone not active can shoot it. But most of the time it's going to get people that are like trying to take fights, so they don't really want to be shooting a dart either. And the same with like the people over in showers, they don't want to be shooting this dart because they're already in a fight. And no one like next to the person taking this fight can shoot the dart, so they have to shoot it themselves, or hopefully someone like short for them will shoot it, right? So that makes that dart quite strong. I wouldn't do it every round because once again, like, it does have a clear weakness from this area. I would do it a couple rounds over a half, just to like get some free kills on people taking fights early on. can help you win the fights early on for your teammates and things like that. The next dart we're going to do is one for your ult. So this one is a bit of a weird dart, a bit hard to actually line up. So we're going to walk up to this wall and going to like be this line. We're going to walk up to this line, and then we'll see. I might get the op-8 for this. So you see these two rocks here, these two. What you want to do is you want to put your crosshair. You want to put the indicator that I'm going to show you kind of in this part where it starts to like these two rocks will start to have like this thin part. It's really hard to explain, to be honest, but it's a lot easier to go. So we're gonna get this. We're gonna get the indicator. We want the left indicator, left like point of the arrow. We want it kind of in the in like where it starts to get really narrow in between those two rocks. And then a 3-bar, not full. And then it should land in about here. Okay, so I did it a bit too far left, but that's okay. I didn't look like it, to be honest. Oops, sorry. About here. Should work. It might be a bit too far right. So this is what I mean by it being a bit too hard, a bit like temperamental and a bit difficult. So this one isn't the best because we can shoot it from here, but generally I get it most of the time here. And that means that they can't shoot it. But it is visible to people going short. So anyone, once again, in like these active type angles have to deal with this. And it's also a very hard angle for them to shoot, right? Because they're going to be watching this angle from this position. And they don't want to be doing like a 180 high up, then come back down. It's very, very hard to do those type of movements. Especially like, even like really, really like good players will have like some will have really low sense. It'd be really hard to get those darts. So yeah, and you want to pair this with your ult. So what you want to do, you want to do the lineup again. But instead of watching it, what we're going to do as soon as it starts to land a bit here, we'll start to ult. As you can see, I'm just ulting in a straight line. This is not what you want to do. You don't want to be ulting in straight lines like this. So with Sova ult, I might actually do like a video on this, like how to like use like certain abilities. But I'll give you like a quick tutorial name as well. So when you're ulting on Sova, you don't want to be just ulting in straight lines. You want to be making sure you're swinging the ult around because it makes it a lot harder to dodge. So what you want to do, if I want to ult Cubby, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start firing in the middle of short and then swing it right. Because people in Cubby won't move. And the people in front here might actually decide to run into Cubby to try and dodge. And instead they're going to dodge right into it. And the faster you can do this, the better. Like, the more you can swing it, the better. To the point where you're actually still accurate. So what I'll do when I'm ulting this is I'll start in short and I'll swing Cubby. And then the next one, I'll start in short and swing to this corner here. And then if I haven't got a tag, if I've got a tag, I'll usually chase the tag. But if I haven't got a tag, what I'll do is then with a third shot, I'll try and influence a fight somewhere else. So maybe someone's getting pushed short on B, Puka. Or maybe a teammate's fighting Showers. And I'll ult Showers on my last arrow. So that's generally how that ult will go. And yeah, we're going to go to B now. So on B, I don't really have too much. It's been a while since I played B. Honestly, I like to play A a lot more. So the main one we're going to do is we're going to go up to this wall. We're just going to aim just below the line and full charge. And this will reveal the fountain. The reason why that this one isn't actually the best one we can do, what we want to do is we're trying to get a bit lower. I haven't done the start in a while either. So we want I think it's about halfway or 3/4. Oh, it's about 3/4 down actually. Now I remember. 3/4 down. It's about here. Oh, okay, it was a bit lower than that. So the reason why I want it a bit lower than that, it's a bit here. 2/3. Okay, so this is a bit too low. So what we want to do is we want it to kind of land on the top of this. Right here. You'll get, if you do this dart a lot, you'll get better at it. You'll be better than me at it. The reason why we want it on top of this fountain is because we want people to commit to the space to shoot it. So if a dart landed like this, if a dart landed at the back like this, someone all the way this far back could shoot it and then just start going gay, right? We wouldn't actually get any good info from that. But if we have it on top of the fountain, someone has to be committed to the fountain, or at least really like fairly close proximity to the fountain to shoot it. So it's more likely that they're going to be wanting to take this space. We have more reliable info from the dart not being visible from too far away.
Right here.
The next thing we want to show is a drone. So you can do, basically drones are exactly the same as dogs really in Sky. So you just really want to, if you want to get good early info and you don't want to use the dart for whatever reason, maybe you have ult or something, you want to like, or maybe you just think they're going to like go fast somewhere, or you want to keep dart for eye retake, or whatever reason you have, you want to keep dart and you don't want drone, or you don't need drone for later on, then you can use drone in place of dart. To sort of take this space, or to sort of see this space, see if there's anyone there. Next thing we can do is I did have a dart a long time ago that could go all the way to A, so we'll test it now and see how it goes. So I think it's aim here. Oh, actually no, it's aim here, I think. Oh my god, well, I don't remember. I think it's 2 bar or 3 bar, so we'll try both. That's the 3 bar one flying. It's not 2 bar. Okay, it's not that one, but it looked cool, didn't it? I mean, technically it's fine. I wouldn't do any bounces with that one. I wouldn't do any bounces, so what I would do, I'll just do this. And the reason being is because you don't want it to bounce around like that, because it makes it easy. So when it comes down, it'll actually scan all of sight, which is actually pretty decent. You know, that's actually not that bad. The original dart I had landed on this here. On this like little, can I actually use ping it? I can't ping this one. No. It landed on the electric wire like this, but a bit further down. I think it landed like here. I have to find it. I'll probably put it on Discord, on my Discord when I do find it. So the next one, also we're going to show a shock. I don't really have any ults, but what you can do, you can ult like this as well. Just going to quickly show the ult. You can do it as well, like if you don't have a Sky and you've got ult. Most Skies will dog from this position. If you hear the Sky, or if you hear the Sky dog, just keep going. Just go for that position. Also, what you can do as well, if you think they'll be aware, if you hear the dog dissipate at the same time as you're ulting, then you can start your ult in this position and go left like this. Because she'll dodge backwards. She'll dodge backwards from you, so then you can actually catch her. Also do shock. So the shock lineup is really easy. All you want to do is you want to look at this and you want to look at this. So we do 3 bar for this one, and then we look at this and we do 2 bar. And then they should land. I did a bit slow, so they won't land exactly on time, but you can get them to go off at the same time. And the reason it's on the orb, right? But people might just like tap the orb, or sometimes people take it from like this position. They just land. It will land on them from this position. Some people also like take the orb and they don't go forward; they go backwards because they're like just playing to like teleport or something. So if you hear the orb being taken, this one can be quite good. If I can do it fast. Okay, that was wrong. I want to see if I can do it fast. Really can. Yeah, I can. This should land fairly close to each other. Perfect. You can get it even closer than that, I think. So I have seen it before. I've done it before. So yeah, that's defense. So let's talk about retake A. So there is a double shock lineup for retaking A on bench, but we're going to talk about some other things first. So there's 2 lineups you can do from here. So the first one is you want to look at this yellow bit, and you want to go into like, the middle of this panel, double bounce and full charge, and that will land on sight. I do it with a shock, not with a recon. Don't know why I do it with a recon there, but yeah, usually you just shock default if they haven't planted yet. Or if you want to retake, in a retake as well, that's not a bad spot to shock. Not always, especially if there's a lot of people on. If there's like a lot of enemies, if there's like 4 enemies, it's a good chance that someone's actually staying there, like a Sage or a Brimstone. Also, there's another one as well. If you want to go to just the left of this little corner, and 1 bounce full charge, will land in this corner here. It will just about hit this person, but it won't do too much damage. But they're fine with that because you'll just spam them. You can just spam them afterwards. When you want like recons, once again, most of the good recons, you can technically do like 1 bounce. You can like take it from the other shock, right? You can do like 1 bounce from here. You'll land on this wooden box. Not terrible. Not terrible. But most of the best recons come from here, where you can like do like any position here, like when they're taking A site basically. But there's also a double shock. There's also a shock lineup that works as well that I like because of how good bench is now. this one is actually pretty good. So what you want to do is you want to look at this corner, and we want to look at this yellow bit as well. Oh my god, I think it's the N, right? Yeah, okay. So you want to look at this corner, and I can see where I'm putting my like alt indicator is like kind of on that corner. And do 3 bar, and then the other one is of the N on bounces. You want to put like the top left corner of the N on bounces, and then 2 bar, and both will land bench. Both will land bench and like pressure the position. So what you can do is you can pressure that position at the same time fighting it, basically. Actually, sorry, I don't want to no clip that. But essentially, you can peek with the shocks, right? And anyone on that position will either get shocked by you, or you can start fighting them, and they'll get shocked, or they'll be off that position. So you can actually get through this position without getting seen, eventually, or without them like without them being able to fight you. Really, really good. They can technically see the shocks come up above this stuff on the bench position, so they probably will move. So you can actually. You don't have to contest that position, which is really, really good, because you don't want to be contested that position, because that position is not very good for you in CT. And that's basically it for retake A. There's not really much to say. A lot of it's on the fly darts on retaking. There's like some things you can do, like set up, like I've shown, but the rest, like you want to be using like your own thought process and hey, you're gonna like just on the fly darts. So the next one we're gonna show B now. I'm gonna show B. And want to look at this line about like anywhere kind of on this wall, kind of low if you want it. Like, yeah, sorry, I crashed. So what I was saying is that this you want to do a lineup like this. You kind of want it equal with the box if you can. You don't even have to really see it. It's kind of like on the fly. You just want to do a full bounce, and it will land here. This is a very old dart. Decent less. A lot of the time, I'm also trying to get darts to kind of land there, which is pretty good. For retaking, use a lot of B site. You can also do one close like this, which you'll see the cubby, and it will see some of back side, some of this area, some of front side. Even will actually catch someone in this position, like an off angle on elbow. But generally, you want to be using just like on the fly arrows, something like this as well. If you think someone's long, things like that. You want to be using a lot of on the fly stuff for retake, especially because there's also this new vent as well. If you think someone's on site in your elbow, you can do stuff like this, shock them, or on site or something like that. That's also good for attack as well if you happen to be in a position elbow. And then we'll go on attack. On attack, we're gonna look at attacking A first. So there's this dart for showers. Just 2 bar, you go up to the corner of this wall here. 2 bar, and you look at that satellite. Let me just do it again. Make sure I demonstrate it properly. So we go to this wall on the corner, 1 bounce, and you look directly at the bottom left corner of the satellite. 1 bar, 2 bar, whatever people call it. You can see it anyway. And it lands here, which is a really strong dart because they won't see it coming through the skylight. Anyone fighting, you won't see it coming. Really strong. You can technically use it as a shock as well if you want to. You just double bounce it, I think. Double bounce, and then it will bounce off the back wall into one. Technically, that's also possible. For A, so for like other parts of A, so generally I do this one sometimes, but I don't think it's that strong. It's not that strong. To be honest, you get shot. So you can also do ones that fly really, really fast to back side as well. You can also do ones that land like front sight, like this on the satellite. Sorry, on the satellite, on the like dish, like this. It scans a lot of front sight, some of back sight. It's really, really strong. And that's kind of it with drone as well. You're droning from this position. You can drone lamps from here as well. Droning lamps is probably better than droning sight. You can see some of back sight as well. And then you can do the same from showers, but be careful in showers because this is wall bangable, so you want to be quite far back. You don't get wall banged, then check. A lot of different positions, like triple, back sight. Definitely a better drone spot from showers. There's not really too many good ults that you can do off the rip on A. There's one good on one. There's one decent one on B. basically it. I mean, usually like if I get like if we really want to win a round, then I'll have like a Brim ult here, and sometimes I'll ult like this as well. Then it stops them from like just sitting back truck after the ult too. So like I can catch people commit the Brim ult, and sometimes they just get like straight up kills because they're low from the Brim ult, and then get the kill. The one shot from my ult. So yeah, that's basically it for attacking A. There's not really too much to go over. I don't have any shocks either. Don't really use them that much like set up. Usually I'll just do them on the fly when I'm coming out. Like I'll do like double bounces like this on lamps and stuff like that. But generally I'm using my shocks on the fly on attack a lot of the time. On B, if you're the only person that can take B with your drone, then you can do drone, very simple drone. You don't want to be, sorry, you don't want to actually be on the left side. You want to be like this, and you will still be able to get what you need to get. So you can get all of hookah, then you can get all of under, like below the window. That's all you need to get with the drone. That's good. And then after that, you can go in here, and you just want to do like, you can do like fast arrows to go back sight. You can also do one that's like a bit more covered if you want it as well. You just go on like this. Go. And I'm pretty sure there's a shock here that you can do, and okay, there you go. I got it. I only took a couple shots, but yeah, there you go. I got it. It's not a brilliant one. Don't ever really use it. Like I said, I'm more likely to use shocks on the fly than I am to use any lineups. So ones like that will like get tube like this, I'll use more. Ones that get backside like this, I'll use more than I'll use for like shock lineups like that. Because most of the time they don't get value. Most of the time they get more value from just being on people that you know are there and things like that. You just need to know how to get your arrows there basically. Then from long, so there's a couple things to do from long. So droning, like you would see a skydog, exactly the same. You would drone up like this. I don't think it actually has as much value as skydog here. So sometimes I will use dart, especially if you're playing slow. I'll use dart, and you don't want to use dart from over here because you'll actually get a bad angle. So from here, you'll actually get like stuff like this, and you'll get stuff that land on this. But really, what we want is we want to be quite close, and you want to kind of aim a bit deeper on the wall. And you'll actually get. Oh, sorry, I need to dual bounce. You'll get stuff like this, where it actually gets into garden. You'll actually get scans on people in garden, so they actually need to shoot this if they want to stay garden. Pretty good. There's also one if you go into this little star. Yeah, this little part of the star. There it is, star. I don't really know what it is. And then you aim basically as far right as possible with one bounce on the line. Oh, sorry, I actually did it wrong. I think it's this part. Oh. Yeah, it is. Sorry, wrong part of the star. There you go. It actually goes further and goes here, and this one scans quite a bit of stuff. So it will scan elbow. It will also scan someone standing on here, waiting for people hookah. So it actually is quite like a really weird dart that will also occupy this person potentially, because they'll see it go past them and they might try and shoot it. Which means that if you time it correctly with someone running up, they're going to be trying to focus on this, then getting scanned by this, or they're going to shoot this and get killed by the teammate running up, or walking up. So yeah, that's basically it for attacking B. You can obviously, once like you've used this dart, sometimes you don't need to drone up here as well. Not always. Maybe if it does die, like if it gets insta shot, you probably do have to still drone up here. But if you didn't have to do that, you can still drone from here, right, and get a lot more value on people on site. Try and check tube with your drone. It's really strong if you can actually get that opportunity. There also is this arrow as well. If I have to use drone early, but I have dart to retake, then, or like to take in the site, I'll do a dart like this to actually check tube. I mean, it also obviously checks like some interesting, like some important areas in sight, and some backside as well. So, it's quite a nice dart to have. Just aim it in the center of this brain thing, like brown part of the wall, like brown brown black type part of the wall. Yeah, that's basically it. There is the ult as well, and this one is very you don't do this all the time. Basically, you do it if you know someone's going to be in hookah this round, and you just ult hookah. Generally, you can ult right as well. Could be. A lot of people want to like ult this guy as well, because usually there's like ciphers playing tube. The problem is like is not a corridor. It's a corridor the wrong way, right? Because his only option is to run side to side, which is not what you want. You want them to have to, like, if they run side to side, if they can run to a side, you have to be like aiming for it. And the problem is that both sides are open, so they're gonna run to like whatever side they want to run to. So it's very, very hard to ult someone on site like this. It's kind of the same thing as this as well, but with the Brim ult, it kind of stops them from choosing a side. But with this, it's harder to get that. Unless I guess you can get Brim ult like this, and then you ult this corridor. Could work. I have to try. I'll have to look on their Valo planter. Let's see if it properly lines up. But yeah, that's basically it for attack. So let's go on to retaking. So we go to a retake. So generally on an A retake, I like bench a lot. So I can still get darts off like this, for backside and things like that. Bear in mind that all this is wall bangable. So in a position like this, once again the same sort of arrow can get me kills through wall bangable surfaces like this. I can also play really far back when I've got my ult. I'll play really far back, and I'll try and get like darts like this. I can use my ult off of the bomb. I don't have any shock lineups, but you can use them on the fly. I usually use shocks to get onto site and to create pressure and be aggressive. I'm like quite an aggressive server nowadays. I used to be a lot more far back in the way I played, a lot more passive, but now I'm a bit more aggressive, which I actually think is better overall. At least with my utility. Anyway, aggressive with utility is what I mean. Not so much with myself, huge amount. But when I come through showers, I'm really aggressive. Like I'll sit in bench and things like that. And like trying to get wall bangs through this box. But when I'm coming through short, I tend to be a lot more passive. I don't tend to ever go into lamps as Sova. Tends to be a really bad decision. And then we'll go over to B retaking. So generally on B as well, like if I have ult, then I'm going to be really far back, be in this position. Sometimes I did have like some lineups. You can just do them off this wall, I think, the lamp front side, yeah. It's exactly the same as Brimmy. Brim also has lineups like this. So if he's planted there, you can do ones like this. You can do like really, really high recons as well from here as well that go back site. And that's kind of it. If I've got drone, sorry, if I've got ult, I'm going to be ulting from far back, like around this corner, so I don't get pushed as easy. Sometimes, a lot of the time, I actually be playing on site, some capacity. I might play on top of this box, but generally, I'm probably playing in like these sort of areas. Usually, I would have used all my util, and my recon would have been recharging, or I'm going to use it, or I've just used it, and now I'm in this position because then I won't have it again. So usually I'll be in like these sort of aggressive positions if I've used my second recon. Sometimes I'll do something like this. Well, maybe not like that, quite. To scan everyone in CT because they'll have to turn back and look at it. So and then I can use this, and then I can sit on top of this box. Be aggressive. Could also go elbow as well if you're in like a really tough situation, like a 1v2, 1v3, 2v2, something like that. If you've took out, you can take elbow and you can like shock the bomb through the vents, like that. So there's plenty of options to do things, but generally, you do want to be staying alive for the second recon as much as possible on retakes. By second recon, I mean the second recon in the round, not second recon for the retake. I mean like it's the second recon of the round, so the recon for the retake essentially. In ranked anyway, because you won't really take that long in ranked sometimes, most of the time. So yeah, that's it for Sova. I actually thought I was gonna do a Viper guide on bind. So I've still got a lot of Viper lineups. I need to do Viper on bind as well. I think I'm going to do like a couple guides on bind because I think, well, bind's new, so it makes it not new, but bind's like come back. So I think a lot of people want to learn agents again on this map. So hopefully you learned some stuff on Sova with this video. So yeah, I'll see you in the next one.